Consumerism. What is consumerism? Consumerism is the protection or promotion of the interests of consumers. The movement that promotes the interest of the buyers of goods and services. Who is a consumer? A consumer is a person who purchases or uses goods and services. Examples of goods and services: groceries, education, telecommunication. Goods. These are items that you buy and use, such as food, clothes, television, and vehicle. Give some examples of goods. Services. These are the tasks or activities performed for you, by persons or organizations. Example: dry cleaner, barber, schools. Give some other examples. The right to safety. The right to safety and protection from hazardous goods and services. The right to be informed. To be protected against fraudulent, deceitful, or grossly misleading information, advertising, labeling, or other practices, and to be given the facts needed to make an informed choice. The right to choose. To be assured, whenever possible, to have access to a variety of products and services at competitive prices. The right to be heard. To be assured that consumers' interest will receive full and sympathetic consideration in the formulation of government policy, and fair and speedy treatment in its administrative tribunal. My opinion matters. The right to consumer education. To stay informed, consumers should know their rights. The consumer has the right to acquire the knowledge and skill to be an informed person through life. You learn how to use money wisely in the purchase of consumer goods and services. The right to a healthy environment. The right to a physical environment that will enhance the quality of life. This right acknowledges the need to protect and improve the environment for life today and in the future. The right to basic needs. The right to basic goods and services which guarantee survival. Food, shelter, health care, clothing, sanitation, and education. The right to redress. The right to a fair settlement of genuine claims. It involves the right to receive compensation for misrepresentation of shoddy goods. Example of a right being infringed. Jane Doe buys a household blender from John Doe haberdashery. She then takes home the blender, and after one use, the blender stops working. Jane Doe complains to the haberdashery but was not compensated in either the form of repair, replacement, or cash. Right infringed. The right to redress. Recommendation: make a complaint to the Consumer Affairs Commission. Filing a complaint. The most common categories of complaints are for issues with electrical equipment and appliances, utilities, and other services. Between April 2020 and January 2021, 1,470 complaints were submitted to the Consumer Affairs Commission, revealing a little over 5% increase from the previous period. When filing complaints, customers are encouraged to first report their dissatisfaction to their respective merchant. If the matter is not satisfactorily resolved, buyers can then file a complaint to the Complaints Department at the Consumer Affairs Commission. Customer complaints should include the name of merchant, nature of complaint and product description. The Consumer Protection Act. This is an act to provide for the promotion and protection of consumer interest in relation to the supply of goods and the provision of services, in order to ensure protection of life, health and safety of consumers and others. Specific laws and regulations serving consumer interests. The Food and Drugs Act. Public Health Food Regulations. The Public Health Act relates to public health, that is the promotion and preservation of the health of the inhabitants. Metrology Act provides for a system of weights and measure, to protect consumers. Metrology, which is the science of measurement, plays a key role in industry, international trade, and in everyday life. Accurate and reliable measurements are critical in assuring product quality, and in supporting environmental, health and safety issues. Organizations set up for the protection of consumers in Jamaica. The Consumer Affairs Commission, CAC. The Consumer Affairs Commission is an agency of the Government of Jamaica. It is dedicated to protecting the interests of consumers. This is achieved through consumer education programs, complaints resolution service, corporate services and affiliations. It sees its mission to enlighten the Jamaican consumer through education so that they can cope in a changing global environment. The Consumer Affairs Commission is easily accessible with offices in Kingston and Montego Bay. The Bureau of Standards Jamaica. The Bureau of Standards Jamaica is a statutory body established by the Standards Act of 1969 to promote and encourage standardization in relation to commodities, processes and practices. However, over the years, its role has expanded to include the provision of services in relation to conformity assessment, certification, inspection, and testing, and calibration, and metrology. Its main activities include facilitating the development of standards and other requirements to which particular commodities, services, practices, and processes must comply, monitoring for compliance, conducting tests and calibrating instruments, certifying products and management systems, providing industrial training and promoting research and education in standardization. The Office of Utility Regulation (OUR). The Office of Utilities Regulation was established by an Act of Parliament in 1995 to regulate the operations of utility companies. Operations began in January 1997. These include electricity, telecommunications, water supply, sewage, and public passenger transport by road, rail and ferry. The National Consumers League, NCL. The National Consumers League is the oldest consumer organization in the Caribbean and Latin America. The National Consumers League, founded in 1966 and a member of Consumers International since 1967, membership has risen to 5,000 overall, with 1,800 active. The National Consumers League provides consumers with information and advice on goods and services. It also lobbies government and business on behalf of customers. NCL has been involved in all activities relating to consumer protection and advocacy, and this year has campaigned on genetic modification of foods, intellectual property rights and consumer education. Mission: to advance consumer knowledge, awareness about products, services, prices, market trends, their rights and responsibilities to enable them to make informed choices in a liberalizing economy. Fair Trading Commission. The FTC, Jamaica's competition agency, was established in 1993 to administer the Fair Competition Act, FCA. The FCA provides for the maintenance and encouragement of competition in the conduct of trade, business, and in the supply of services in Jamaica. Competition leads to optimal allocation of scarce resources while ensuring that the highest quality goods and services are offered for sale at the lowest prices. It also ensures that the greatest incentives exist for product innovation and development. The work of the FTC is critical to the achievement of these objectives. If you watched and found this video informative, I would greatly appreciate if you subscribe and like the video. Thanks for watching.